On this episode of the Magic Hour Podcast, I'm joined by Jackson Schleder and Xavier Gomez once again to talk some NBA and how the NBA playoffs have broken down so far. We start off with the Suns going 8-0, still for some reason not making the playoffs, so why that happened, how it went down for them, how their future is going to look, and the stars of the bubble. And next we go into the Blazers versus the Grizzlies, 8-seed Western Conference play-in game. How the Blazers managed to pull that one out in a very tight nail-biter against a really good Grizzlies team, really good young Grizzlies team, and how the Blazers roster is going to match up with the playoffs moving forward, especially in that Laker number 1 seed matchup. Then we go through every single first-round matchup, what we saw to every team after one game of play, how we think that the series is going to pan out, what we think each team needs to do in order to pull out a win in that series. Some teams a lot more than others. And what we can look forward to from the first round. And then finally we finish it off with Xavier decides to explain to us what an order at McDonald's called a McGangBang is. And I know what you're thinking. It's not a sexual pun, but it's not a sexual act. It's an order that you can get, a secret order that you can get at McDonald's that you have to order 2 separate items. It only costs $3 or something. I don't know. If you've ever heard of it before, maybe you have, and maybe you've had it before, but he goes into great detail about that. So we'll look forward to that. All right, cool. Well, let's get it going. It's the Breakfast Pod. Welcome. Welcome to the Magic Hour Podcast. I am Chris Madrigal. So we're the first week of the NBA started this past, I guess technically Saturday, but the playoffs technically began on Monday the 17th. So we're gonna talk about it. And we have so much fun, this group, talking about the NBA, that we're going to try to make this an every 2 weeks event because the playoffs are going on and it's so much fun. Xavier Gomez, Jackson Schleder, of course you guys are back.
Hey, how you doing?
Yay.
Should we just name this edition of the podcast? Should we do it NBA Breakfast?
Yeah. Wake up, have breakfast.
Yeah, I don't see why not.
It's
But what if we don't record during breakfast? What if we record at night?
You can have breakfast for dinner. That's the beauty of breakfast.
Exactly.
That's
exactly.
a very
With all the
valid
games
point.
like happening so early, you gotta get your breakfast in. Talk about some basketball because then you watch all day.
Yeah, there's a game going on right now as we speak.
Exactly, with the game starting at 10:30.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So we're gonna call this NBA Breakfast Pod. That's gonna be what's the addition. All right, so I want to talk about pre-playoffs really quick because we have some really interesting stories that happened. Mm-hmm. One of them, so the Phoenix Suns were brought into the bubble. They are kind of one of the fringe teams where you look at the list of 22 teams that are entering, and you kind of see the Pelicans, the Kings, the Nuggets, the Suns and the Spurs, and you're like, what the fuck are these teams doing here? Probably a little bit of a ploy to get Zion into the bubble because he's such a big PR advertising thing and people want to watch him play. But the Suns took with the opportunity they had, they made the most of it. They went 8-0. Devin Booker was arguably the player of the bubble. I think Damian Lillard won that actual award, but
oh, that was a real award? They actually gave it away?
Yeah, they gave away the all-bubble team, and then they gave away the player of the bubble.
Who's the all-bubble team?
It was James Harden, Devin Booker, Damian Lillard,
T.J. Warren.
T.J. Warren. No, T.J. Warren was.
Oh, wow.
And then, I don't remember what the other one was. The last forward. I want to say it was Anthony Davis, but I honestly can't remember.
I could see that.
And I don't have it up right now. Anyway. So yeah, good effort by the Suns, but I feel like they just had there was a lot going against them, and they probably shouldn't have been there in the first place.
I mean, they mathematically had a shot, and there were some situations where they could have gotten in. I mean, they did everything they could. They needed some other teams to lose. I mean, it wasn't impossible. That's what I'm saying. And I would have liked to be invited still if I were the Suns. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was a mathematically tough situation because it's like they could close the gap. Clearly, they basically did or almost did, but it was just there were too many teams in between that didn't have to go 8-0 to be ahead of them, and that's kind of what happened.
I mean, we kind of saw with the Spurs too. Like they were in a little bit of better position, and they still played well in the bubble and had a good record, but still couldn't make it in. I mean, like only 8 games. It's just like such a far, like hill to climb. It felt like going into it, the only teams that mathematically really had a realistic shot were the Blazers, the Pelicans, and actually the Grizzlies had that spot, so not them. But yeah,
The Grizzlies were big favorites. Yeah.
yeah. Do we want to talk about that team a little bit? I mean,
Yeah,
like Devin
they,
Booker fucking lit it up. DeAndre Ayton had a nice little coming out party. I mean, I don't know what his deal's been the past 2 years, but he looked really fucking good in this bubble. I know he was like suspended for a little bit for like steroids or some shit.
Was it steroids that he got suspended for?
It was performance enhancers. I know that.
Yeah, I mean, they just had like a solid little team, who really like you could tell they like playing with each other. They had a lot. They had a chip on their shoulder, and they beat up a lot of teams. Some games I feel like these like higher seeded teams like didn't really like try, and they definitely got smacked in the mouth, which was cool to see from the Suns. I mean, it was the kind of basketball that I wanted to watch. After not having any basketball at all.
Yeah, I think not only did they go 8-0, I think it's super cool that they won almost all their games by double digits or close to double digits. They had 2 close games early on. It's also, I don't know if you guys think this way, but it's just like if I was a Suns fan, I'd be dwelling over like the last games before everything got shut down. They lost a game to the Blazers. That was their last game back in March.
Oh shit!
And if
really?
they won that, they'd be up 1-0 on the Lakers right now. Like, I don't know. That'd be a tough pill to swallow.
I really wanted the Suns to hit that 9th seed so they would have that play-in with the Blazers. Because, one, that would have been a great series. Are you kidding me? 2 unstoppable forces coming at each other. Although I don't think they're going to pair. They would have paired up as well as the Blazers have against the Lakers. We'll get into
That's
that
true.
later.
But, I mean, if they're 8-0 and killing everyone, it's hard to make a case against them.
I genuinely hated the, like, tiebreaker rules that they made. Like, just let all 4 of these teams like just do a massive tournament that weekend. I guarantee they would all be down to play. Like, even if you're Portland and you're in like that 9 seed spot and you have the advantage, like this would have been so much fun. Like, even the Spurs to see like who can like battle it out and who can like has the most grit to make it through. You know what I mean? Like, I still think the Blazers would have came out on top, but like it would have been so much fun to watch that.
Agreed.
I totally agree. And I think it was so unbalanced because teams hadn't played the same number of games.
Yeah.
That's the thing I would have changed, actually. It's that, like, instead of saying what's your win percentage over different amounts of games, I'd say let's use the game back metric and say, all right, if everyone's, blank games back or tied in that sense, then let them get a shot.
All right, cool. So let's move on to the play-in game, which happened on August 15th on Saturday. The Blazers beat the Grizzlies in a very tight game, which was sorry, I have it up right here, but I don't have it up right here. Anyway, it was a tight game.
Shootout.
Yeah, Damian Lillard had 31 points, 10 assists. CJ McCollum had 29 points.
122 to 126.
122 to 126. Yeah, it came down to the very last position. Yusuf Nurkic had 22 points, 21 rebounds, and 6 assists. He was just a rebound machine that day. Ja Morant had 35 points, 8 assists. Jonas Valanciunas had 22 points, 17 rebounds, and 6 assists. The big man came to fucking play that day.
Mm-hmm. I like Valanciunas. Valanciunas? Yeah. I don't even know anymore. I tried. I try with these foreign names, but I mean, it took me a while to get Kristaps.
Yeah.
Porzingis. I was like, what?
Porzingis?
Yeah, I know. I said that on purpose.
Dylan Brooks also had 22 points. I mean, this was just insane. Like, was it this game that Damian Lillard pulled up from the NBA logo and just shot that like 40-footer?
popped it in. Yeah, for sure. I mean, everybody was having a great game. Melo was having an out of his mind game.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't see much from Zach Collins, but I mean, that's okay. You got that guy Wenyan Gabriel. I really like him.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of moxie. That dude's coming, running up and down the court. You know, it says he only had 3 points against the Grizzlies, but I saw him everywhere in that game. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So we'll get into a little bit later the Laker game that happened last night, the upset. But one thing I just love about this Blazers team is, so they have their superstar in Damian Lillard, probably top 10 player in the NBA. They have a really good number 2 guy in, probably top 25 in McCollum. Yusuf Nurkic, you could argue maybe top 35. He's playing really well. But then they have all these like really just perfect role guys that just do everything that they need to do to make up like lack of, talent in their superstars. It's fucking great. Like Whiteside, especially with Nurkic back. Especially with Nurkic back, Whiteside doesn't need to score anymore. Literally, he just needs to get rebound and block shots.
Bro, sometimes that guy comes out of nowhere. Like somebody will come up and just put back a dunk.
Dude,
a rebound,
right?
and I'll be like, "Who is that?" And like, "Oh, it's Whiteside, Hassan Whiteside." I'm like, "Oh yeah, I forgot he's still on the court." You know what I mean? Because he has like 4 other guys who are like, just running the ball. And you forget this. And all their former All-Stars just will come out of nowhere and just dunk on you.
Yeah, and Gary Trent's been really solid. He kind of like comes up with a nice like a couple 3-pointers when you need him. Melo, I don't know. Melo was weird at the beginning of the bubble though, because it's like one day he's on and one day he's not. Like one day he's like he only scores like 5 points and he's in foul trouble, and the next day he's like 20 plus with like 7 rebounds and just like a dominating force. I just feel like you never know what you're gonna get from him.
He is 35, but let's not discredit. Like this man can still shoot really well, and he can play defense. He's a big body,
Yeah,
it's you kind of forget how tall Melo is.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say that he could play defense, but he is a defensive
has been playing.
Yeah. I mean, he played 38 minutes in this game. Like that's a lot for someone who's just coming up the bench.
Yeah, that's actually nuts for his age.
Yeah.
I want to bring up one thing. You guys looked at the plus minus for the Blazers in that game. Lillard played 45 minutes. McCollum played 44. So you can do the math and realize that they were basically on the court over 90% or about 90%.
Yeah, for sure.
And Lillard was plus 17 and McCollum was minus 2. And this is in like Lillard's worst shooting game of the bubble, maybe, or one of them. You said Lillard was like top 10 guy, and I'm like, dude, that's an understatement. He's so good.
Yeah, I mean, he was 5 for 14 from 3, and he's still plus 17. Like, that's pretty fun.
Every time I'm watching him, I'm thinking like, this is the closest thing to prime Curry I'm gonna see in I don't know how long.
The Blazers shoot a lot of threes, bro. They love to shoot threes.
Of course.
Yeah, every team I feel like kind of shoots threes. A lot of threes, except for the Lakers.
Well, yeah, I agree.
Except for the Lakers.
The Grizzlies didn't shoot. They shot about 25 to the Blazers 40.
Oh my God! I mean, that was the killer right there. I mean, like that's a lot of points that the Grizzlies would have to make up. 43 pointers, like fuck hell.
40 shots, 3-point attempts.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Well, no, but even they shot 25 versus Trailblazers 40. The Grizzlies made 14. The Blazers made 15.
That's a good point. They were
56%
from 3. Yeah.
Yeah, they got everything they needed with that, and they still lost. So, I think this game, if they played this game 10 times, this would be one of the closer ones and one of the better ones for the Grizzlies for sure.
So that reminded me of something, and that makes a lot of sense because I remember watching this. I remember texting in our basketball group, like it feels like Damian Lillard is fighting for every single point on in that game. Like he was just like throwing his body all over the place. He was on the ground like half the time when he was driving the hoop. Like, yeah, they definitely had to fight for all 126 points they had that day. When Nurkic got into foul trouble, that's when I was most worried because I think the Grizzlies were up at that point. They had just got the lead, and Nurkic gets his 5th foul with like 3 minutes left, and you're like, "Fuck, man, this guy can't foul out. If he fouls out, it's gonna be trouble because he's been scooping up rebounds like crazy today."
Yeah, but that's what the Grizzlies do. They jam it down the hole. They got people driving in and out of the lanes, especially Ja Morant. Like I can't tell you how many of his points are just in the paint. And dude is like, he's tough to guard. He's quick. He gets annoying. Like you think he's one way and he's up on you. Like John Morant is such a spectacle. I love watching that guy play basketball.
All right, cool. Anything else you guys want to say about that game?
I mean, go Blazers.
All right, let's move on to our playoff picture. So on Monday's slate of games, so it was a little bit of a mix and match. We had the Nuggets beat the Utah Jazz in the morning. Hold on, I don't have that score.
I thought this was the boring day.
Why do you say that?
Just a lot of like. I feel like I just predicted what would happen, and then like it all kind of came true.
Every game was really close though. So the Nuggets beat the Jazz 135 to 125 in overtime. You guys want to talk about that series? We can just go from series to series.
Yeah, actually that's a good series to talk about.
So I don't know how I feel about the Jazz because there's no Conley yet. So it's like if they can make it this close of a game in the first game of the series without their starting point guard and probably their second best player, like the Jazz might have a real shot.
I mean, Donovan Mitchell scored 57 points and they still lost. All right, like, come on, man. Like, yeah, they need some help. The Nuggets are solid. They move the ball really well, and I'm like, I mean, you're not getting anything out of Rudy Gobert. Where's Rudy at? Huh? Wake him up.
What are you talking about? You're just hating on him just to hate on him. This is classic Xavier bullshit. He had 17 points and 4 blocks. Is it unknown that I
don't like Rudy Gobert?
He had 17 points and 4 blocks.
Okay, we need 22, 31, bro.
He was 1 for 6 from the line. I guess you can get mad at him for that, but like Gobert is fine. He's not the problem.
Yeah, you're just making up bullshit just to talk shit about Gobert.
I don't like the
Jazz. And your racism against French people.
Whoa. I like French people. I don't like Rudy Gobert.
You admitted that you don't like Gobert. You don't like Tony Parker.
That's right.
There's valid reasons for those. It's not. They just happen to be French. Okay? Maybe there's something there, but I'm not going to be the one to say it.
Oh, God. Yeah, we're getting for sure canceled.
By the French? Come on. All right. I think we're good.
I mean, they kind of saved our ass in the Revolutionary War. I feel like we should be a little bit more appreciative.
All right, that was so long ago. All right.
But then we saved their ass in World War II, so I mean, it goes back and forth.
That good old World War, back and forth.
Yeah, their bench sucked though. I mean, Jordan Clarkson had 18 points, but that's it. Like that's a real problem for them. I don't know if they're gonna make it through the playoffs with just such a shitty bench.
I mean, what do we need to see from the Jazz for them to beat the Nuggets? The Nuggets just look like the better team. But
yeah, Jazz.
Necessarily?
If Jazz weren't going against the Nuggets, maybe they could win a series and get Conley back and then do something. But I think they're very unfortunate to be playing the Nuggets right now.
Do you guys think the Nuggets have a shot past this round though? Like, do you see them as a threat?
Wait, are they do they play the winner of the
Mavs
Lakers?
Yeah.
Oh, winner.
So they would play maybe.
I think they could take the Clippers to 6. It's not like it's impossible for them to win, but
the Mavs could win that series. They made it a game on Monday.
Oh, we'll get to there.
They did, yeah. But
no, that was a great game. That was a great game. I don't know what did the Jazz need to do? They rebound really hard, pass the ball well. I mean, maybe you could say, oh wow, they had 15 turnovers. That's pretty bad.
Oh my God, that's pretty bad.
I mean, the Nuggets had 11 also, but still.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
I mean, Donovan Mitchell is not going to score 57 points every game.
No way.
Yeah.
I mean,
67 next time.
Dude was out of his mind.
I think that if they struggle in today's game and they lose, like, Conley's going to have to be like, fuck, all right, I got to go back. I got to get back to Orlando. Like, I get you just had a kid, but, like, I think they would be in some serious trouble. Even though it's only 1-1, like, yeah, Mitchell's not going to be able to do that. Ingles only scored 19. He's got to do better than that. I mean, maybe he can get 20. But, like, I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, what did the Jazz need to do? They rebound really hard, pass the ball well. I mean, maybe you could say, oh wow, they had 15 turnovers. That's pretty bad. I mean, the Nuggets had 11 also, but still.
Yeah, Mitchell's not going to be able to do that. And then the
Well,
rest
Ingles
of their
had the best
team,
plus minus.
minus
Really?
14.
No, he was plus 15, wasn't he?
I have him at. He's on the box score right here. He's minus 14.
What about Michael Porter Jr.?
I'm looking at the wrong thing. My bad.
For the Nuggets, I'm talking about
Yeah.
the Jazz right now, though.
Oh, I'm just curious. I thought you were looking at plus minus.
Michael Porter's plus 4, so he had a really good game.
Okay,
yeah.
I like that.
13 points.
Wait.
3 for 7 from 3. 5 for 13 from the field. It's pretty
I
good.
like Michael Porter
Eight
Jr.
rebounds. Wow.
Morgan was plus 17.
Oh, I thought you said Ingles.
I did, but I was thinking about Morgan.
Yeah, but he only scored 3 points. I mean, he played great defense probably, which is probably why his plus minus is so high. But
His plus minus is so much better than everyone else's that I don't know. I trust the guy now.
O'Neal was minus 21.
Get that guy the ball.
Minus 21. That's pretty bad.
This is gonna be a good series. How many games do you think he's gonna go to?
I think it goes 7. I think
Yeah,
this
I think
is
so,
like
too.
such an evenly matched.
They're in the same
Team.
division, right? Like same conference, same division.
I think so. I think
What
they
are
are.
they like? The Pacific Midwest, or I don't know.
I think it's them, and then I think it's Portland, and I don't know who else actually.
yeah, I don't know
Phoenix,
who would
maybe?
be. No, that's the Warriors division.
No, the Pacific is the Lakers, Clippers, Warriors. Oh yeah, you might be right. I don't know.
Suns,
Honestly, who cares? Like the divisions are pretty
Blazers.
much pointless now.
Yeah, it's true. But like, I'm just saying, like these two teams play each other often in the regular season, so they kind of like know each other. And I mean,
Yeah, it's
they're
the
both seated around
Northwest, by the way.
Mm.
Exactly.
But
So,
you
like,
play
know.
everybody in your conference 4 times.
Yeah,
every
but these
season.
two, they're familiar. You know, like who would you say the Jazz's rivals are? You know.
One interesting thing is both these teams have the advantage of the altitude. So they were training in altitude because both of them are play in cities that are like a couple thousand feet above sea level.
High scoring game. I mean, it went into
Yeah.
OT. That was pretty insane. I thought the Nuggets just took over OT at that point.
Yeah. I like these matchups because like it's just these teams because they just they match up so well. Gobert versus Jokic, Murray versus Mitchell, and the crazy thing about it is the Nuggets didn't even need Gary Harris or what's his face?
Hazonia?
What? No, Hazonia
No,
plays
no,
for
no, Hazonia does not play this. What's the other guy's name?
They didn't even need Gary Harris or Will Barton to beat the Jazz, you know?
Oh, wow. Well, Barton didn't play. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
At least I didn't notice.
All right. I think that's enough of that talk. I think we've exhausted that series a little bit.
Let's talk about the Mavs Clippers.
No, let's go down the schedule. So the next game of that day was
Nets.
The Nets and the Raptors. We don't have to talk too much about that. Raptors pretty much spanked the Nets. Xavier's own Brooklyn Nets.
What was the most
do you want to start the apology party
No,
now,
no,
or
no.
do you gonna
What's
double
most
down on this
infuriating
one?
about this whole situation is that the Nets should have been the 8th seed. They would have had a better, more preferable matchup. Now they're stuck at the 7th seed, and I said
Here
this
we
before.
go.
Anyways, and then also in this game, the Nets were getting whooped, and then in the third quarter they started like catching up and trying to make it close at the end, and I got all excited, and then of course they're just not a well-rounded team, and they let it slip to an actual solid team. Late
I
in
mean,
the
they
game.
lost 134 to 110. Like this was kind of a blowout.
I mean, I think with like 4 minutes left, the Raptors went on like a 9-0 run, and it was over for the Nets.
The highest scoring player for the Nets in that game was a man named Timothy Lawawu Kabarat. Kabarat.
It's Timothy Lawawu Cabarro.
Cabarro? Oh, okay. Is he good, or is he just had a good game?
He had a great game.
I don't watch a lot of Nets games. But,
As we're recording this, end of the first, the Nets are beating the Raptors.
What's the score?
33-29. They're not going to win, but
I mean, the Raptors are. The Raptors are a good team. I think they're probably the best team in the East. I wish the Nets didn't have to face them so early.
It's so funny how much Xavier came around from his first take like 2 months ago, saying like, the Raptors they suck. They don't have Kawhi. They're gonna be bad. And now he says they're the best team in the East.
Maybe I was butthurt about the recent championship loss that we had, but whatever. No, they are the best team in the East. I hate that the Nets had to play them. I wish they were playing the Bucks right now. But we'll
Fred
get
Van
into that.
Vliet had 30 points.
No, they're good,
plus
bro.
minus 14. Whew.
You think there's gonna be a sweep?
I think the Nets could maybe pull one game out.
Yeah, I think they get one.
But
Could be this one. Could be game two.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's a sweep, to be honest with you.
Yeah. They put the hurt on the Bucks one time, so like it's not impossible.
Remember that one game they played 4 weeks ago?
They beat them by 27, something like that. It was ridiculous.
Right.
Yeah, games like that happen. I don't know.
They didn't play Giannis, but it still happened. It still happened.
All right, so the next game was the Philadelphia 76ers versus the Boston Celtics. The Celtics won 109 to 101. Another very good matchup series. I'll be honest with you guys. I didn't watch this game because I was working out. So if you guys watched it, you guys can go and take it.
I definitely watched the whole game.
I heard Embiid had a really good game though.
Who did? I thought he had like a lot of ticky-tack fouls that kind of put him in some foul trouble late when, he didn't have to do that necessarily.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, yeah, he played well. Rebounded super well. I thought he did his job as much as he could. But that Celtics team, they could shoot. They could definitely shoot really well. They're just a better team all around. I feel like the 76ers kind of broke down offensively a lot of times and then like took a lot of bad shots. That being said, they did score over 100 points and like pretty much stay in the game the whole game. I think it was never more than like a 7-point differential. I know it's gonna be a good series. Celtics look good though. Don't get me wrong.
So they didn't shoot well from three though. The Celtics, they shot 32%, but their field goal percentage was 42, which is pretty solid. Tatum, I'm looking at his stat line. Holy fucking shit! 32 points and 10 rebounds or 13 rebounds. Like, goddamn, all over the floor.
Yeah.
Jaylen Brown doing work too. 29 points.
Jaylen Brown was good. He kept attacking the hole nonstop, and I think that kind of pissed off Embiid because he kept fouling him, just like little like straight arms. He'd push him away. It's like, come on, man.
How did Kemba play? Because I know he's still coming off that injury.
Kemba was cool. He played a lot of minutes. How many points? He had 19 points. I mean, I felt like everybody was doing their job pretty well. You didn't really know where the attack was going to come from. I don't think anybody had like a real hot hand.
Yeah.
Necessarily. I don't know. It was a close game,
What do you guys think about this series?
I think Celtics are a little bit better. I watched about half the game, and just neither team. Neither team played the best game, but it's a good matchup. They're pretty even. It wouldn't be crazy if 76ers won, but I'd take Celtics.
Yeah.
And I don't think it'll. I might take them in 5 or 6. Not that
Really?
it's going to be that close, but they'll be good games.
Yeah.
That's how I see it.
Yeah, I think Tobias Harris is going to turn it up one of these games, maybe one or two of these games, and really like be trouble for the Celtics. But Celtics are deep.
So you don't think that Embiid's going to be the solution to them making a run of the series? You think it's Tobias Harris?
I mean, I don't think he's going to turn around and drop like 40 or something like that. I think he's going to kind of perform at this level, which is still pretty good, what you would expect at your center. But he's going to need some help for sure. It's going to be Tobias Harris. He's going to get him 2 wins. I see that.
All right. Let's move on to the last game then. Dallas Mavericks versus the LA Clippers. This one was a huge nail biter. Had Kristaps Porzingis not got thrown out at the beginning of the fourth quarter, this might be a different game, bro. 118 Clippers won 118 to 110. I mean that. Look, the second technical I get, like Kristaps, he wasn't even involved in that fight. He shouldn't have even went over there. He goes over there, fucking shoves Marcus Morris, or is that Marquise? I can't remember. Markieff Morris. Kind of like doesn't.
That's Marcus Morris. You're right.
Oh, it's Marcus Morris. He doesn't try to like calm down the situation, he kind of instigates it even worse. So I get why that's a technical foul, but his first technical was just ridiculous. Had there been fans in the stands, that would not have been a technical foul, because it's not like he's bitching to the ref. He's bitching to his teammate about the call. He's just like, man, that's fucking bullshit. And so he gets teed up for that. Like, come on.
This is what I'm saying, bro.
It's a lot of bullshit all around.
No fans, man. These are the outcomes, and these refs are gonna get a little bit more ballsy, and just have their mark on the game. It's ridiculous. They can't handle some foul language. What's going on with these refs?
Yeah.
But I agree. Kristaps blew it. He shouldn't. He got to keep it together, man. This is the playoffs.
So the fouls are pretty similar. The Mavericks had 21 fouls and the Clippers had 24. But it just felt like, for some reason, like the refs were calling this game a little bit favorable towards the Clippers. Because let's think about it here for a second. I don't want to get conspiracy theory, but it's in the NBA's best interest to have the Clippers in the Western Conference Finals against the other LA team on the other side of the bracket. I'm just saying.
Yeah, that'd be good for the NBA. I was going to think maybe it would look bad for the NBA if the 1 seed and the 2 seed lost in the West. That devalues the regular season or something. But I don't know. Clippers are just more marketable in general. But it's one game. The calls have to kind of go towards one team. Like,
I hear that, but the Clippers also
it wasn't that bad.
They played really well. And it was their game to lose, and I don't think the Mavericks made enough of a case to try to win. I mean, Luka put 42 for sure, but
I think if Porzingis is in there in the last however many minutes, like that's a different fucking game, because like Boban and Kleber are not Porzingis. Like they tried to fill that hole, and in like their kind of like their crunch time lineup, and they weren't it. They're not that offensive threat.
They gave up 46 points in the paint, not having Kristaps and Boban really in there, shutting things down.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, it's just fucking weird to me. Seth Curry had a great game. Just want to point that out because we love the Currys.
Seth.
Yeah. What do you guys think about this series? Do you think I think this is more of a series than people thought it would be and led to believe. I think this could go 6.
I agree. Yeah. Luka is gonna keep performing at this level. 40-something points. That seems like he's gonna keep it up.
Mm-hmm.
Dude is good.
I will be very interested if the Mavs win the next one, but if they don't, it's not like they're gonna win 4 out of 5.
Yeah.
Against this team, yeah. But here, if the Mavs tied up, is that tonight?
Yeah.
Yeah, Mavs tied up tonight. That would be super sick. Yeah.
I was just gonna say that if Dallas ties it up tonight, like then we got a series for sure.
For sure. Yeah. I really like Patrick Beverley's clamps on defense. He's playing it all on you, really close, fast, just super annoying. It looked good.
He's so annoying
at first, and then Luka dropped 42. So like, what are you gonna do?
At the end of the day, all that shit talking just all for naught.
But it's Pat Bev, man. He's the man. I just like that guy. He's cool.
What would you say in terms of your favorite players in the NBA? Where does Pat Bev? Where does he rank?
He's like top 5, and he's not 5.
What about when he's playing the Warriors?
I mean, I can not root for him, but still enjoy him as a person.
Oh, you like his I don't know. He annoys the shit out of me.
He annoys the shit out of me, and I respect it.
He just seems like a real dude.
It's fair.
He talks shit to people who deserve the shit talking. You know what I mean?
I will say that I would love to go to Vegas with him. I think he'd be a good time.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
And you'd get into some very weird things. I feel like there'd be a lot of strip club visits, which I'm not a big strip club guy, but with him, I'm down to see how that goes.
Yeah, why not?
I agree.
And I feel like he'd also be a fun time at the craps table. Like he would be very vibrant, and it would just be a party.
Oh, double alert. Zubac had a double for the Clippers. Look at that guy.
Double alert.
Yeah, double alert.
Is that going to be a new thing?
Got 10 rebounds and 10 points. That's
Xavier,
such a game. Thank you.
We had of the 4 games we talked about, there's been a few double-doubles, and you haven't done any double-double alerts. This is the first one.
This is just
I think you only just did it because you wanted to just say Zubac's name. And you said it right. You didn't stumble on that one.
Yeah. It was right
You
there.
know what
already,
happens
man. I
if he
just had
gets
to say it.
if he gets another double-double? Is he going to evolve into goalback? Never mind. All right, go on.
That
That was
was.
not a good joke, Jackson. I can't.
His name
give you
sounds
another
like
one.
Zubat. You got to do something with that.
You didn't
It's-
have to do that though.
It's technically pronounced
You're right.
Zubac.
Zubat.
Really?
It looks like Zubat. Everyone thinks
Oh.
Zubat when they see that.
Oh, look at this turnovers. 21 turnovers for the Mavericks. Granted, 12 of them were steals, but that's a lot.
That's a lot. That's a lot. That's
We're
like
talking about
that's like
15 over
2015 Warriors a lot.
Just giving the
Those
ball up a lot.
motherfuckers would always turn over the basketball. It drove me fucking crazy.
You know, that's another thing. The Clippers, their defenders, they all got like real long arms. You know, like anytime you go into a lane, somebody's arm is in there trying to poke at the ball. It was
What were the-
Kawhi. He's got crazy long arms, man.
I wonder what I'm gonna look.
Lou Will, crazy long arms. Paul George, crazy long arms.
They did not rebound that much though. 53 to 49.
A
But-
couple more offensive, but yeah,
they,
you're right.
They did dominate the offensive boards. That's a good point. So 11 offensive boards for the Clippers and only 5 for the Mavericks. So what was your favorite game of day one?
I'd have to say it was a Sixers Celtics game. I like that one a lot. I think that's the only game I watched all of it. I was like eating or something. I don't know, but I really enjoyed that game.
Jackson?
Wait, wasn't Orlando Milwaukee day one?
No,
That was
No,
yesterday.
never mind. I guess the Clippers Dallas game was probably the most compelling, even though it felt more like Dallas fell apart than like Clippers rose to the occasion. But
Yeah.
Agreed.
yeah,
So I think my favorite to watch, just because I watched the whole thing and it was very close the whole entire time, was the Jazz Nuggets. But the final quarter, the fourth quarter of the Mavericks Clippers game was very intense, just because of as soon as
You're right.
KP got thrown out, you're like, oh fuck, where's this gonna go? And then it like the tide starts to turn a little bit, and it's very back and forth, and you're kind of like, it's just a lot more intense, you know.
You're right. That was a super exciting game, the Jazz Nuggets game.
I mean, it went into
overtime. I was like, oh, this is sick. First game, like I was pretty juiced. Not gonna lie.
And
So
it was
that-
like
yeah.
these two
Can I
guards like
switch mine?
battling
Is
it
too late to
out,
switch
you know.
mine?
Yeah. All right, cool. So we're gonna take a quick break, and then we'll come back. We'll talk about day 2 and the second half of the bracket and how we think it's gonna pan out. So stick around. We'll be right back.
Love you.
All right, welcome back to the Breakfast Pod, NBA Breakfast Pod. So we are gonna go over.
Welcome back.
You want to sing a song? Go ahead.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Hey,
Nice.
how you guys doing? It's glad to have you back.
That's like NPR radio.
You listen to
This
the Breakfast
is
Pod
Thought for Your Thoughts.
with Jackson and Chris and your man.
I am Chris
Xavier.
Madrigal, filling in for Xavier Gomez, who is filling in for Jackson Schleder, who is filling in for blah blah blah, who was out hunting. You guys ever seen that episode of Parks and Recreation? No? All right.
I have not.
Good reference for all those fans who do.
Yeah, exactly. They'll get it.
I'm more of an office kind of guy.
Sounds fucking lame. All right, so day 2 slated games. Probably the most exciting, well, not most exciting, but interesting game of the past couple days and series. The Orlando Magic beat the 1 seed Milwaukee Bucks 122 to 110. Fellas, whoa.
Yeah. Let me tell you, I could not be more excited that was the outcome of that game. Okay, you know me, big Milwaukee Bucks hater. Giannis fan though. I like Giannis as a person.
Why would
And
you say
Giannis played well.
Why would you say you're a Milwaukee Bucks hater?
Because I wanted to see them do poorly because they're the best team on the East, supposedly. And I always like a good underdog story. And here we are, Orlando Magic, making all of my dreams come true, like magic.
So are you hopping off the Nets bandwagon and you're hopping on the Orlando Magic bandwagon?
Absolutely not. If anything, I'm gonna double down and say the Nets could have done this. The fact that the Magic are doing it upsets me because the Nets could have done this. But whatever, they wanted to be the 7th seed and win games in the bubble. Beats me. don't know why they would do that. Yeah, the Magic were leading almost, I think, the whole game. The whole game.
I feel like they more or less were leading, but it was always like 1 or 2 point difference, and I think the Bucks they had a lead a couple times, but yeah, I mean, more or less the Bucks were always trailing the Magic.
I think after the half, like the Bucks went on like a 9-0 run, like really tried to catch up, and kind of like got the Magic on their heels, but their confidence really pulled them through into the fourth quarter. I think they had like a 7-point lead, and the Bucks just couldn't really mount a comeback at all to get the Magic, slowing down.
I would say the funniest thing about this entire game was that the Bucks literally used their 99% of their bench. They only didn't use one guy off their bench. So they were trying to get production out of anybody they could on their team. And nobody was delivering except for Giannis. So Giannis had a crazy game like he typically does. 31 points, 17 rebounds, and 7 assists. But then other than that, it was just a lot of from everybody else. Brook Lopez had 5 points. He was awful. Chris Middleton only had 14. Bledsoe didn't really do much. Wesley Matthews didn't really do much. George Hill did okay, 16 points. Kyle Korver only shot 2 3-pointers, which was kind of weird because his only reason for being on this team is to shoot threes. So if you're not doing it, it's just a fucking waste of time.
I would say the Bucks looked real sloppy, and so did the Magic. But like the Magic were expected to be kind of sloppy from this 8th seed. The Bucks are expected to be the best team in the East, and look, they just as many turnovers, giving up just as many points in the paint. I mean, getting out rebounded, not by much. Okay, maybe not. But also, and free throws. Giannis can make his free throws. They only made 18 out of 28 for the Bucks, whereas the Magic only missed 18 out of 19. I mean,
so with the Magic, it was kind of the other way around in terms of like their role players. Everybody showed up. It felt like, and they have a good kind of like nucleus of role players that kind of fit around Vucevic, like kind of just right, and Aaron Gordon, but Aaron Gordon didn't play. Like Fultz played really well. Fournier played really well. Clark played really well. DJ Augustine came off the bench, played really well. Ross played really well. Like, it was good, man. Like, they really put it together. And Vucevic with his 35 points and 14 rebounds, like, he did work, bro. He did work. And he showed up and acted like a star in that game. And, when they needed points, he came in and he scored.
Markelle Fultz, he hit a lot of threes early that I felt like pulled a lot of defenders out towards him on the 3-point line, which opened up Vucevic a lot.
Yeah. Dude, he was 5
he was just
for
getting
8.
fed.
Yeah.
Vucevic
was 5 for 8 from the 3. It's insane.
Just crushing it, bro.
Yeah. He made more than half of his shots in general. I mean, he's 15 for 24 from the floor. That's insane. And only 37 minutes. I mean,
double alert.
Double alert. That's right. Good point. I don't know, Jackson. What did you see? You've been a little bit quiet for this series.
So I didn't watch the Magic Bucks game. I think there are a lot of interesting takeaways, but I don't know. It's easy to get excited about this, but Bucks might win in 5, and then we'll all be like, "Oh yeah, we should have seen it coming." I don't know,
man. I mean, like a
little bit. Yeah, this game. Oh no, the Magic looked like they should have won, like the whole thing, obviously. But like, no big takeaways.
This was a series that I was certain this was going to be a sweep. All the other series, I was like, oh, they'll probably grab one. I thought the Magic were going to get swept. It really could be. Oh man, it would suck to be a Bucks fan right now.
Oh my God, so much, and especially like if he loses again, all these Warrior fans on Twitter and shit like that are like, Giannis. I don't know if Giannis doesn't make that first round, he might come in a couple of years. Like, I don't know. It's just
I've been hot on the TO with that stuff. It's so funny.
All right, so the second game of that series is of the day. Sorry, and next series we'll talk about Miami Heat versus the Indiana Pacers. This was also a very close game, what felt like most of the game. This is like one of the most intriguing series to me as well because I didn't think the Pacers would make it much of a game. I really thought that the Heat were gonna walk away with it in like 5 or 6 games, but Victor Oladipo only played half the game and they still were in it the entire time.
Yeah, I kind of wish that Oladipo was in the whole game because then we could really see how the series really.
What happened to him?
matches
He
up.
got poked in the eye or
He
something?
got scratched in the eye by Adebayo, I think.
That's right. Yeah.
Or maybe it was, I don't remember who it was. I think it was Adebayo. And then he couldn't come back. Do you know if he's gonna come back at all?
I don't
Like
know if he's
for the
playing
next
today or
game?
not. I can research it right now real quick.
He plays tomorrow.
Oh yeah, duh, they play tomorrow.
Yeah, the fact that they stayed in without Oladipo, was pretty good. It's a really good sign. If they had won without him, I would have been sweating if I was the Heat. See what I did there?
As soon as he went down, great pun. As soon as he went down, I think it was like the second quarter. I was pretty concerned because Sabonis isn't there. He opted out, so pretty much your 2 stars aren't playing. Malcolm Brogdon had a great game, but your 2 stars are out. You're relying heavily on these role players like McConnell. TJ Warren has had a great tournament as well. TJ Warren has had a great tournament as well. But I mean, or run, but you don't know if he can necessarily take over.
You can't put the series against the Heat on TJ Warren.
Exactly.
That's asking a lot.
Yeah. But their role players play well, man. I mean,
Justin Holiday. I'd like the way that guy plays basketball.
Yeah, fucking Aaron Holiday played well too. Holiday played well too. I mean, the Holiday brothers. Doug McDermott came in, made some big shots.
Malcolm Brogdon.
Miles Turner could have played better, but it is what it is. Double alert, Malcolm Brogdon. You're really just jumping.
I'd be curious to see what's the plus minus on Iguodala, because I don't think he played that great of a game.
+3. So
okay, all right. Well, I stand corrected.
I mean, I think he played.
But I mean, it depends who he's in with.
Yeah.
So it's like if he's in with the bench and the bench is playing well, then they'll all get a good plus minus. I don't really know.
In that second half, Dragic just started draining threes, and you're just like, "Fuck!"
Oh.
If he shows up, this is gonna be interesting.
You know, and I'm ready for Dragic to just light it up. Dude's good. He's always been like that vet, nice little key role player who's been on teams who have bigger stars that kind of take off or have good runs. So he's the perfect piece for this team. I don't know. I think the Heat are gonna win this one.
Who do you think is the second best player on the Heat?
Who do you think is the first best player on the Heat?
Jimmy Butler, obviously.
Oh, okay. Then it's Bam Adebayo.
Over Dragic?
Mm-hmm.
So do you think... I don't know. Dragic is an interesting conversation topic for the offseason because his contract's up. He's making like $20 million a year or something like that.
Oh, wow.
That's a lot of cap that they get off their books. So, there's a lot of rumors of them making a run at Giannis. But could Dragic be worth it, especially with the way he's been playing with this nucleus? Could Dragic be worth it to sign him again, or do you think he moves on somewhere?
I think that's a question.
He's in a tough spot where it's like, I don't know if he still commands $20 million a year on the open market, but he's good enough to, be expensive and a team will pay him that. But then he's not good enough to be like, oh yeah, that's money super well spent that you can build a championship with. So then I don't know. Depends what you want to pay for and what other things they can get. Yeah, I don't know what I would do if I was the Heat.
I feel like he's kind of moved into that role player, part of his career.
Yeah, I don't think Dragic is the all-star. He's not going to lead the team. But, I mean, he definitely was running the game at certain points in, at that game against the Pacers. But I think those questions are going to be answered if they, say the Heat win the series and the Magic blow it and the Bucks win. They're going to play each other the next round. So, I think that's what the Heat are going to see. Is it worth having this guy on our team, or are we going to whoop him up like we did the last guys? So,
Bam Adebayo, double alert.
Double alert. Dude is good.
70 points, 10 rebounds.
He's such a big guy, and he could really create his own shot, create points out of nowhere.
It kind of felt like Butler was not on the floor for the first half, and then in the fourth quarter he just starts draining shots. It was really weird.
That's his time to shine, man. Yeah. Tyler Herro, 15
Dude, Tyler Herro was fucking solid. I love watching
Mhm.
him play. Also, he's got a dope ass haircut. I'm down
got a
for
dope
his hair
shot.
game.
He has that leg kick. I don't know. I like it.
He's got like a nice little like taper fade going. Kind of like it's kind of like in the top, just kind of like just
Mhm.
brushes out to the front, kind of like Jackson's hair, but better because Jackson doesn't do a fade because he's just not.
For the viewers at home, Jackson has great hair.
I'm just kidding.
Thanks, guys.
We were just
I say
complimenting his
viewers,
hair
I meant
yesterday
listeners.
when we were hanging out on Zoom. Cool. Good time.
Let's see.
What do you guys think about this series?
I think it's gonna be a closer series. I think it's gonna be close. How you think the Jazz Nuggets series is gonna be close? But again, without Oladipo, Pacers is gonna lose in 5.
I think Oladipo comes back though. I think.
Hope so.
Yeah.
Just his eye, right? But he's kind of been inconsistent, even in the bubble. Like he misses a game here, misses a game there.
He's still recovering from that fucking brutal injury from last year.
Yeah, I like
Yeah, I
Heat
get
in
that.
5 or 6, but good games.
Yeah.
And dude, if the Magic win, Miami could get all the way to the conference finals. That'd be sick.
Yeah.
Or
Also,
whoever wins this could get
This
all
was
the
the
way
day
there.
of upsets because the Magic upset the Bucks. The Heat technically upset the Pacers. They were the 5 to the Pacers 4 seed.
That's a good point.
Yeah, seed doesn't matter that much, especially this year. But
Still an
it's an
upset.
upset.
Upset alert.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Okay. Based on the money line, they were not. It was not an upset.
Yeah, that's what I was telling him yesterday. Like, because we were playing an NBA drinking game, and he was like, "For an upset, you have to take a shot." And I was like, I don't know if that's technically counts as an upset. I know the seedings are different, but
It technically counts. as an
betting
upset.
wise, Miami was a favorite.
Well, maybe it's just like, oh yeah, if the lower seed wins, if the 5 beats the 4, that's an upset. Or if the Pacers win because they're the actual underdog,
I don't
that's an
understand.
upset. So you're drinking.
They were your favorite
Yeah.
team and they lost.
No matter
Why
what, you have
wouldn't
to drink a
be
shot.
upset?
I don't know, Xavier. I just it sounded like it was the middle of the day and you just wanted to drink. That's what it sounded like.
It was not the middle of the day.
That game, yes, it was.
The middle of the afternoon. Get at me, all right? I don't have a problem.
That was a fun drinking game, though. I will say.
It was.
For the listeners at home, yeah. Do you want us to tell them what it is if they ever want to play in the coming weeks?
So you take a shot every time there's an upset. This is my playoff drinking game. You take 2 drinks if there's an ejection. A drink for a turnover. A drink for a 3-pointer completed. And what else? Oh, a drink every time
completed.
You overhear foul language. Yes.
Nice.
Yeah,
well, don't they
honestly,
bleep
I
it
got
out a lot
proper
though? So
drunk.
like, just pretty much every time it's bleeped.
Sometimes they do, but sometimes they don't.
Well, what if they do? Do you have to drink if they bleep it out?
Well, yeah, sure.
Okay, I didn't know if like you had to
that's
actually
that's
hear
up
it
to you.
on the
It's-
broadcast.
What did Michael Jordan say? If you don't want to play that way, you don't have to play that way.
Well, I mean, the rules are the rules, man.
If you want to play that way, you can play that way.
All right. Yeah, no, I think this series is going to be a lot closer than I actually originally expected. So I could see it go 7 games. All right, so the next series of that day, yesterday, was Oklahoma City versus Houston Rockets. And the Rockets beat the Thunder 123 to 108. This was a lot more of a blowout than I expected. I remember telling you, Xavier, before we started watching, this is the best game of the day. And then it wasn't. It wasn't
It
at
was
all.
not.
No. The Rockets did exactly what they've been doing. They just shot a lot of threes and didn't care to rebound as much. But they actually rebounded pretty well.
Yeah, not bad, huh?
Yeah. 41 to 58. Oh no, never mind. That's pretty bad. Just kidding. They only had 41 rebounds as opposed to the Thunder's 58.
They
But
shot
they shot well.
52 3-pointers, only making 20.
Yeah.
There's a motorcycle going by my house right now.
But still, I mean, 20 as opposed to the Thunder's 13. Like that's gonna show up dramatically on the score. You know.
I agree. I think the Rockets ran away with it towards the end, especially, and they did it without Russell Westbrook. So I mean, you got a problem with just James Harden, you have another thing coming when that dude comes back. Yeah, the Thunder they're gonna get washed on this. They might be able to steal a game, but that's all I'll give them.
You think they're gonna run away that much with it?
I mean, they didn't look like they had a solution for um, when the Rockets go big. Their version of big. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean,
Their version of
I
big
think-
with PJ Tucker
yeah,
and
I think
and
they tried to
Robert
play-
Covington playing in the
they try
forwards.
they try to beat the Rockets at their own game, and they got just whooped on it. Just got outshot.
Yeah, I think that was what the issue was. Is they tried to shoot with the Rockets in the second half when they were trailing, and like that's just not your game. You got to use your big guys. You got to get Steven Adams and Gallinari out there and just scoop up those boards, and you have to make those opportunities like count on the other end.
Instead they got Shai, Gilgeous-Alexander, and Schroeder, and Chris Paul out there just running around.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah. And another thing, which we talked about earlier with another game, they used every single member of their bench, and they still couldn't figure it out. It's another team that like literally tried to find production out of anybody on their team, and just nothing.
Danilo Gallinari with 29 points in 33 minutes is super nice. That's a lot of production out of a guy.
You were like shocked yesterday that he played well, and I was like, dude, Gallinari's a fucking good player.
I didn't think he was gonna put it up like that though. I mean, he was on fire.
Yeah, and I agree. Jackson?
I'm just looking over the stat line. I had this game on in the background, but I was out of the
Chris
bar, so
Paul-
I wasn't really watching that
Chris
closely.
Paul almost had the triple.
But you know what he did have?
Double alert.
Double alert!
Hey, so did Steven Adams.
You know what's crazy about it? You look at his rebound
Wait,
stats.
2 doubles? That's a
What?
double.
Yeah.
Oh, snap. Double.
Ah!
And
All right, thanks, guys.
And Baisley almost had a double too. He had 9 rebounds and 9
We don't talk
points.
about almost doubles here, okay? Almost did his
Everything's
job.
almost a double.
Damn. So the Thunder had a double alert, and they still couldn't pull it out.
Yeah.
Still couldn't pull it out.
Almost a double is called a chicken sandwich, but you put them all together, what does that make?
I don't know.
Double chicken
A
sandwich?
McGangBang. A McGangBang, you
A
know?
McGangBang. So
You
damn,
put a
the
chicken
Thunder had a
sandwich in
McGangBang.
between a double. Whatever. All right.
Most people don't know that term, and it's highly alarming to hear that.
So
not
Xavier,
knowing what
yeah,
it
can you
is.
Educate
explain what
yourselves.
can you
Educate
no,
yourselves,
no,
pod
no.
listeners.
Can you explain what a McGangBang is? So
Nah,
that we don't,
nah,
we
nah.
don't get canceled.
This is like one of those things where, like, some kid asks you, like, where do babies come from? You're like, go ask your parents, all right? Like, I shouldn't be the one explaining this to you.
Well, just
Go
can you just
online,
act
educate
as- can
yourselves,
you
go
just
find a
act as
loved
the parent
one.
today.
All right. If you got $3 and nothing to do, and you got quite the appetite, go to McDonald's.
$3?
It's right. They're all $1.
Well, yeah, and there are only 2 items, but go on.
Oh, okay. I don't know how you do it.
I don't know how you count to 2. Okay,
Yeah,
explain it.
It's only 2 items. What do you? Yeah, what is? Are you including?
Oh, you're right. You're right.
tax?
All
Are
right.
you
all right,
rounding
you're
up
right.
and including tax
right.
on this?
Yes, I'm including tech. Maybe you want a drink.
Maybe you want a soda, but
Maybe
it's
you want a
just-
drink.
But a soda is like $1.20.
Anyhow,
so it's
for the
not
listeners
$3.
at home.
You're gonna need like $3.50.
The Mick part of the McGangBang is you go to McDonald's and you order double cheeseburger sandwich, just a sandwich, however you like it, and a McChicken sandwich from the value menu. Then once you get served, you take it to your table, and you get or actually it's COVID, so take it home or maybe in your car. You get that double cheeseburger.
You don't have to lay out like the entire
split it
experience.
open
Just say
inside,
what the fuck
okay?
the thing is.
Split
You
it
open
so
up
you got
the double in the
patty
middle.
and
Okay.
bread on one side, patty and bread on the other side. You get the chicken sandwich, pull it out of its wrapping, as is with the bun, the chicken, stick it right in between that bad boy. All right, then close it on up. All right. Now marvel at the creation that you've just made. That's a McGangBang. Okay.
So top to bottom, that is bun, condiments, beef patty, bun,
If I were
lettuce,
Bun.
mayonnaise, chicken, bun, beef patty again, and then another bun. There are 4 buns in all, and it's
Yes.
It's a lot of fun.
Keto, I'm sorry, it's not for you.
If I were a listener, I would be so confused because you threw so many little details in there that did not need to be in there. Like all you got to do.
you put a chicken sandwich in the middle of a double
Okay,
hamburger.
all right.
Yeah,
See,
like
again, this is why I said
you,
I should
but-
not
but-
be explaining this.
But you explain it like, all right, so you go there, you get the sandwich.
Hey, all right. If you don't like how I do
they
it,
hand
just gonna
they
ask.
hand the bag to you. You put it next to your car. You drive home. You grab the bag. You put it on the table. You take the
You get a call from your
McChicken.
dad. You say hello. You talk to your dad for 45 minutes. You hang up. You go, I'm
You
still
pull
hungry.
you pull the double out of the
McDonald's is
bag.
cold now, though.
You take it out of the wrapper. Like you even said, like you undo it out of the wrapper. Like these are minor details you don't need to go.
Hey,
Oh,
you
we
know
thought
what?
you put the wrapper right in.
For the listeners at home, I'm sorry for holding your hand. I thought you just wanted somebody to touch you.
Can I settle one thing though? Wait, Chris, did you say you've never had this?
I've never had a McGangBang, but I kind of want to try it this weekend now.
It's not keto. It's not keto.
Yeah, I'll just I'll take the weekend off keto.
Whoa,
Okay, so-
keto alert.
All I was gonna say is that when you have it, you do become as excited as Xavier is about it, and it kind of makes sense.
And
And you'll
I
know
don't
exactly
Here's the
how to
thing,
do
though.
it since I just described it.
Here's the thing, though. I'm a picky eater, so like I like
No,
my
it's-
burgers with
it's all
just like
good.
cheese and no ketchup. Like
Yeah, that's okay.
All good.
mayonnaise, and then like maybe, and then my McChicken I want to be plain. Can it fit in your mouth? I feel like that's a high
Yes, it
stat.
can. You gotta smash
Yeah,
it though. You gotta smash
It
it.
squishes down. You can do it. It's a McDouble though. It's not a double cheeseburger.
What's the
Yeah, I don't
difference?
think-
It's the same thing.
No, there's no cheese on the McDouble. I've been a vegetarian for 3
What do you
years.
mean there's
and I know
no
this
cheese
shit.
on a
Get out of
McDouble?
here.
There's definitely
no
cheese on a McDouble. But there's only
That's
one
a
layer of
double
cheese and
cheeseburger.
not 2 layers of cheese. That's what you're saying.
Maybe.
I could see a
Big
McDouble being
double.
2 patties with 1 cheese. And
There's
then double cheese
technically
is the double cheese.
there's
not double patty.
technically one slice of cheese. You're right.
Okay.
No, but if you're gonna do this, you gotta
Factually.
have 2 slices of cheese. I need double burger.
No.
and
The whole
double
point
cheese.
of the
When you have-
McGangBang is that you get it off the value
There's
menu.
so much. There's
Oh,
so much weight
okay.
there. You don't need cheese on it.
It's true.
Yeah.
So do you think 1 would be enough, or do you think is 2 just like 2? That's just out there. That's just too dangerous.
try one.
Two McGangBang. I think one McGangBang is solid.
Whoa, look at this guy.
However, you know what?
Alright.
It's not like you're gonna be. It's not like the biggest meal. I don't know.
Yeah,
Try the first one.
I feel
alright?
like the McDonald's burgers and like McChickens are so small. They really
Okay,
make them.
but again, you're putting one sandwich inside of another sandwich. Okay, so think about that.
we were getting brunch one time. Me, Jesse, and Brian. What's Brian's last name? Petrosky. He came to visit, and we went to this place, and they had they're famous for like their chicken sandwich. And it was breakfast time, so they had a breakfast burrito. And Brian asked the waiter, "Do you think is it possible to put the breakfast burrito inside the sandwich?" And me and Jesse look at him like, "What the fuck just came out of your mouth? You want to put a burrito inside of this chicken sandwich?" And the waiter just looks at him like, I don't think we can do that. It's just everybody at the table was just like could not believe that these words just came out of Brian's mouth.
Okay, that's a lot to unpack, but I know where to begin. Why didn't he ask?
This is the breakfast
to put
pod, so I feel like we got to talk about breakfast.
Why didn't he ask
Food.
to put the breakfast sandwich inside of the burrito? That seems
Exactly.
like
Exactly. I
that
was
seems
going
like it
crazy.
was gonna work.
Yeah.
How
You know
would
what I
you?
mean?
But how would you put the breakfast sandwich inside the burrito?
You wrap a tortilla around a sandwich.
Exactly.
That's a lot of just bread you have to get through.
But
eat,
it's
to get
still
to the
better
meat.
than a burrito sticking out of a sandwich. You know what I mean? I'm not one who made up the game. I'm just trying to figure out how to play it.
I mean, it does sound delicious, but it just sounds like a lot of
definitely.
fucking work.
That's the thing about breakfast. It's only like 5 or 6 main ingredients, and like the beauty of it is just the combinations. You figure out how to put them all together.
I've
You know what I
never
mean?
had a bad breakfast burrito. Never.
I've had a bad breakfast burrito, but you know what? I was looking for trouble, so it's on me.
All right, so back to basketball, guys. Back to basketball.
Why
What do
are
you
we
think these
talking
guys eat?
basketball on the breakfast pod?
What do you think these guys eat for breakfast before they go play?
I don't know. That's a
None
good
yet.
question. Definitely nothing heavy. So I feel like eggs and like
Eggs?
I don't know.
Maybe like a bowl of cereal with some like almond milk.
I feel like that's not filling enough though. You're gonna be.
I think
for
it's
hella
it's
hungry
not
during the
it's
game.
not actually as crazy as what people think. I think they actually eat like pretty normal food and like I don't know. The timing of everything they eat the days before is like planned and thought out, but like
Mm-hmm.
it's not that
Is this a-
crazy.
Feel good.
Is this a sign of how boring this Rockets like blowout and boring this Rockets Thunder game was that we're still
Yeah.
talking about.
I was really
Booed in the middle of it.
underwhelmed
Yeah, it
by
wasn't
the
the best
series.
game.
Honestly, I was underwhelmed by this game, and I
Yeah.
hope that's not a sign of the series to come. Same with the Heat and the Pacers game. I think Oladipo like leaving the game early kind of like ruined the game for me.
I really think that the Thunder will adjust and bounce back, and I think it's going to be a series. I still think it goes 7. I really do.
7. I was going to say the Rockets, I mean, they're the classic. This is the epitome of you live by the 3, you die by the 3.
Yeah.
You're running a gun. And so I was going to say, they're liable to lose any game, even if they're the better team. I don't see it going 7, though. I guess 6 is more concerned. I think 5 or 6, yeah.
You could
I
argue.
think Rockets are clearly better.
So the Thunder, you could argue, is their best player. I mean, I guess most people would say Chris Paul, but I would say Shea, at least biggest star coming up. He only had 9 points. He's a plus-minus and -3. Like, he's gonna have a better game. He just had a bad game. If when he goes off, this entire series is completely different because that guy can shoot. He can shoot with the Rockets a little bit.
Harden only had 37. He's going to be dropping 50. You know.
And also the big factor.
Jeff Green
with
with 22.
Jeff Green. Jeff Green's but Jeff Green's not gonna have 22 every game.
True, but you know who will?
Jeff Green
Russell Westbrook when he comes back in 3 days.
That's the factor. Russell's coming back, but
That's
Jeff
the
Green
factor.
is notorious for having 22 one game and being like, oh fuck, he could be like a star in the NBA, and then like 3 points the next day. He does this all the fucking time.
Yeah.
True.
Okay. Cool. Let's move on to what was the final series of the day.
The best game of the day.
Hands down the best game of the day.
What did I say before they were going to start yesterday?
What did you say?
First one to 100 is going to win.
So, the Portland Trailblazers beat the Los Angeles Lakers 100-93. The Lakers did continue to do exactly what I said on this podcast before the bubble started. They can't score over 100 points. They're the only team in the bubble that averaged less than 100 points a game. It's the guard situation. It's the thing I keep talking to you guys about. It's bad. They have nobody. They have no guards. They live in the key to score their points. They rely so heavily on Anthony Davis to facilitate the offense. And LeBron's doing everything he can. He's running all over the place, but it's just not enough. The dude's 35 years old. He isn't the same guy anymore. Danny Green couldn't make a shot to save his life yesterday, which was kind of funny to watch because he's like their only 3-point shooter now, and the guy can't fucking shoot. Yeah, man, it's bad. And again, Portland is not a normal, typical 8 seed. Like, had they had Nurkic and Collins all season, they'd probably be like around a 3 seed.
Yeah.
I mean,
we're spoiled to have this.
They're a better team this year than they were last year, and they made it all the way to the Western Conference Finals, right?
Yeah, and they did it without Nurkic last year.
Yeah.
I mean,
this is definitely a problem for the Lakers for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know how they're going to solve this.
I mean, just the production out of their guards. I want to go through this real quick. Danny Green had 10 points. He had a plus-minus of -20. Was 2 from 8 from 3. Contavious Caldwell-Pope, 1 point, so he made 1 free throw, and was 0 for 5 from 3-point. Dion Waiters played 1 minute, plus-minus of -1. He had 0 points. Alex Caruso, 2 points, 1 from 6 from the field, played 29 minutes, only had 2 points. But still had a plus-minus of +12, which is kind of
as
weird.
a team, they were 5 for 32 on 3-pointers. That's 15%.
That's fucking awful.
That's terrible. Terrible. Can't make their free throws. They didn't look like the 1 seed.
And the Blazers they're continuing off their hot streak from the regular season, which is great. And what I love about the Blazers is, especially compared to last year, we talked about this last night, Xavier. So last year they only had 2 guys coming off their bench, their role players that really contributed. It was Rodney Hood and Mo Harkless. This year, they're getting production out of all their role player guys, all of them. Zach Collins playing well. Gary Trent is he's having a big come out year.
Wow, yeah, I agree.
Hazonia, I mean, he may be a little bit reckless with his shot choices sometimes, but you're getting productive minutes out of him. Gabriel played a fucking great game, subbing in
Yeah,
for
he started
Collins in
for
the starting
yeah.
lineup.
I mean, like I'm trying to figure out what the Lakers need to do to beat Portland. I mean, they're slowing them down. Like they're only holding Portland to 100 points is impressive because they're
Yeah.
scoring like 126, 127, a game. But they got to compensate for that by scoring more points, and it's just not happening. The production is just not there. Either LeBron's gonna have to score 50 every night, or they go home early in the first round. That's really what's gonna be.
Double alert, Anthony Davis, 28 points, 11 rebounds, triple
Double alert.
We don't talk about triple
Triple-double.
doubles.
We don't talk about it. Oh, okay.
Why are we not
No,
talking about triple doubles?
I don't see it as a triple double. I see it as 3 double doubles because LeBron had rebounds and assists. That's a double double. He had rebounds and points. That's a double double, and he had assists and points.
I agree. You're right.
Damn.
I didn't see it like that.
It's
Three
double
double-doubles.
doubles all the way down.
So double alert.
Yeah.
What is that?
A
So
triple double
we got
double.
we got the McGangBang. Oh, because the Lakers had McGangBang, they have 2 double doubles.
Yeah.
Anthony Davis and LeBron James.
Wow,
So-
that's a McGangBang.
But because it's a triple double, what is the triple double nickname?
it's a turkey.
Turducken.
A turkey.
I was gonna say turducken.
Explain this.
Like when bowling, when you get 3 strikes in a row.
Oh,
It's a turkey.
that's a
I'm
good one.
stealing it, taking it.
I was hoping we'd
Bars
do a
out.
food reference, but that's fine. Whatever.
Turkey is food.
I mean, it's an animal.
The country?
I've never seen a turkey I didn't want to eat.
The country. Okay. And then, do we have any? We have a double alert for the Trailblazers.
Wait,
Yusuf
let's-
Nurkic, 15
hey.
rebounds, 16 points. Oh,
How
and
about that?
Melo had a double.
And Anthony.
11
Okay.
points and 10 rebounds.
I'm gonna talk about.
We got a
Kentavious
McGangBang
Caldwell
for,
Pope.
we got a McGangBang for the Trailblazers. All right, go ahead. You want to talk about KCP?
Kentavious
Go
Caldwell
ahead.
Pope had a triple single. He had 1 rebound, 1 assist, and 1 point in 29 minutes. That's a triple single. Honestly, that's an impressive stat.
Impressive in what way?
His jersey number is 1
Oh, what?
Damn.
Whoa.
as well.
Oh my gosh. That
just blew my mind.
wow. Hold on.
He was
You
number
need a second to
1.
gather. Xavier,
Oh.
you need a second to gather your thoughts.
You know-
before you weigh in on this
You
one?
know-
His new name is Kentavious Caldwell Schmitty Werber Jagerman Jackson Pope.
The number 23 with Jim Carrey in the whole movie. He's just like, what?
I'm aware of it.
23. That's what's happened to me right
I've
now.
never seen that movie.
with
That
the
movie
number
looked
1.
awful, so I never bothered to
It's-
go watch it.
It is both
Did you actually see it?
fantastic and compelling, but also like completely batshit crazy. You got to watch it. What are you doing depriving yourself of such a cinematic journey of
Isn't it
chaos?
about him just like finding all these things in life that like translate to the number 23, but then somehow the number 23 translates to 666 or something like that? Like it's like about the devil.
I was gonna say 2 divided by 3 gives you a repeating decimal of 0.666 forever, whatever.
Yep.
I
You'll
feel
figure
all
like
this
that's
out when
such
you
a
watch
the movie,
stretch,
bro.
though. I feel like
You'll
that's
figure all
such a
this out.
stretch.
Yeah.
We'll say though, you're gonna watch it in 2020 now. This movie came out in like 04. When
Yeah.
like The Matrix came out, everybody was about like conspiracies and like things not quite adding up. You know what I mean? So it's gonna be a different climate to watch it now, but you should appreciate it. Take yourself back to 2004 when you were just little Chris Madrigal, and you could really appreciate this film
When did you first watch it?
when it first came out. I got it on DVD,
Isn't it rated R? Weren't you like 10?
bro. I'm ruthless out here. All right, they can't contain me.
You have terrible parents.
They're just guidelines. They weren't actual rules either.
Just kidding. Jackson's
You have
face was
terrible
like,
parents.
"What? How dare you say that?"
I
Anyway,
remember my dad let me go watch 300, and then the movie theater was like, "You can't do that. You're a little kid."
so you want to say more about KCP, or can we talk about the McGangBang that happened with the Blazers? Although, I mean, we've already said everything we need to say about the Blazers. They have really good role players. They're playing really well. Melo doesn't look like he's 35 anymore.
It was a
playing really
close
well.
game. I'd say the whole game.
It was so
It
much
didn't
fun to
look like
watch.
the Blazers were ever gonna run away with it. But I mean, in all these upset games, I guess that day, all the teams that were the lower seeds, they all just like started out hot, built a quick lead, and held it for the whole game.
Yeah.
So I mean, I guess that's the name of the game. You got to be fast. You got to get quick. You got to have a good start. I don't know. What are the Lakers gonna do?
It's a great question. I don't. I mean, I think. Do you think this series goes the distance, or do you think like Charles Barkley said on the pregame
sure.
that it's going to be a sweep?
No. Just because it's a LeBron team, I'm gonna say it'll at least go 6.
Yeah.
I mean, the only people who could sweep the LeBron is the Warriors.
But they didn't sweep LeBron.
Yeah, in the finals, remember?
No, it was 4 games to 1. They only ever beat LeBron in 5 games.
They've never swept him. What are you talking about?
No, they didn't.
Nah.
Yeah, bro.
Nah.
Maybe there was a gentleman's sweep or something.
Nah, we swept him. All right.
You're wrong. I mean, I'm looking it up right now. It's gonna take a minute, but you're wrong.
It was not their last year, Katie. The second year last year. 2018 finals.
I mean, I'm looking it up right now.
Golden State Warriors winning 4. Sweep.
Oh,
I was there, bro.
Oh wait,
I mean,
you're
I was
right.
there, but I watched
all right.
game.
I'll give you credit when credit is due. Good job.
How do you forget? I know it seems like it's so long ago.
It does, even though it was only 2 years ago.
Yeah. Oh yeah, but they swept the crap. This was the year where they lost game 1 because J.R. Smith forgot who was winning the game or whatever.
Yeah.
And LeBron was like, "What's going on?" And after that, like, they didn't stand a chance.
So I watched
if they stole game 1. It would have been a big deal.
I watched a YouTube video recently. I was over at Drew Cameron's house. Shout out Drew Cameron. We were watching just like YouTube videos, and they had 100. ESPN made a 100 biggest chokes in sports history, and that was number 1.
Wow, that was number 1?
Yeah, the J.R. Smith not knowing how much time was left.
Yeah, that could have really changed the entire series if they stole game 1. You know, this big superpower team losing to this like rickety Cavaliers team.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I think that's gonna do it for this episode of the Breakfast Pod. Thanks for coming on, dudes, and hopefully we can talk more in 2 weeks, and we'll have next round in general.
Absolutely.
A little bit more info.
Farewell to you, my friends.
Ooh, out of the box. I see what you did there. All right, tune in next week for more sports. Peace.
Tune it and boot it.